right, today we're going to answer a dental question. A dentist reached out to me and asked me, Gary, do billboards still work? And there's 3 ways that they do, and we're going to share those 3 ways that they do and the multitude of ways that they don't work. Stay tuned. Welcome back to another episode of Dental Marketing Go. I'm your host, Gary Bird. I'm the owner of SMC National, where we help offices just like yours level the playing field against the big guys out there so you can grow the way that you want. But you can't grow if you're wasting your money on things that don't work for your particular practice. So, do billboards work for dental? It depends. I'm going to give you the 3 ways that I think they work, and I would love it in the comments down below if you disagree or you agree, or how have you seen them work. Love to hear from you. So first, they work in small towns. So what I've seen people do in small towns is they'll go out and buy a billboard on the road where everybody goes through in the middle of the town, and they'll get it for like $500. And they're just in front of everybody, every single person that's in that town for $500 a month. It's kind of hard to beat that, right? You put your phone number, you put your logo. There's only, maybe a couple other dentists in town, but you're in front of them every single day. It's kind of hard to lose that. I've seen the same thing when you do billboards, postcards in those towns, magazines. I've seen people pay $250 for magazines and they get 50 patients a month. You know what I mean? And their CAC is like $1. It's crazy, right? So that's one way that they do work. Okay, but I realize most dentists that doesn't apply to you. All right. Number 2 is for larger groups. So if you have multiple practices with the same brand, this is really important. Has to be the same brand. If you're trying to do billboards and you have a bunch of different brands, this doesn't work. So you have to have one brand, and that one brand has 6 practices around a city, a big city, and you buy a billboard in the middle of that city, you have what's called economy of scale. Economy of scale. And you say, well, what does that mean? You can leverage one billboard and take that cost and spread it to 5 different practices, and all 5 practices will benefit from it. Some a little bit more than others, but still you're spreading it around. So if it's $10,000 a month for the billboard, you have 5 practices, it's only $2,000 a month. And if you're getting 10 or 20 patients from that at each practice, that makes a lot more sense. But see, if you have one practice and you're getting 20 patients and you're paying $10,000, it starts to not make as much sense, right? So larger groups or groups with multi-location with the same brand, that really benefits. So smaller towns, really cheap billboards, larger groups with multi-location with the same brand, that can work as well. And the other thing is super large treatment. So advertising really large treatment. I live in Southern California, and as you drive through LA, you'll see people that are advertising for implants and for full arch and those kind of things on billboards. Why does that make more sense? Well, you don't need as many people to come through the door from the thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that are seeing the billboard as you would a GP practice. If you're paying $10,000 a month for a billboard for a GP practice, you need a lot of patients to come through every single month from that. And then, the timing has to be right, all that kind of stuff, right? So that doesn't typically work for a single location. It just doesn't make sense. Now, if you have larger treatment, now you might only need 2 or 3 people for it to make financial sense. So that's really, really important to understand. Those are the 3 ways in my experience that I've seen billboards work for dental. What are your thoughts? What do you think? Do billboards still work? Have you seen them work? And in what cases do they work? Do you sell billboards? And you're like, Gary, I sell billboards. You're totally wrong. Here's how they work. Here's how the economics work. Would love to hear from you. Are you a marketing person? Would love to hear from you. Are you a practice owner? Let me know down in the comments below. You guys have a good day.